If you ever felt like you're doing everything right for your child and still nothing works, if you've tried routines, if you've tried the sticker charts, if you've tried the therapy, the meds, and yet the behaviors continue, then it's very likely something deeper is going on inside your child's body. And in today's live training, I'm going to show you a completely different way to understanding your child's ADHD symptoms, one that focuses not just on behavior, but on the biology beneath. Guys, if you are tuning in live, give me a wave in the comments. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. And do you have a child with ADHD? I am having a bit of trouble with my platform, so I want to make sure that I'm coming through okay. And I want to see your comments to make sure I can see them. But if you're new here to my community, I just want to say welcome. I'm Dana Kay, a board certified health and nutrition practitioner and the founder of the ADHD Thrive Institute. We focus on helping families reduce ADHD symptoms naturally by supporting the body from the inside out. So if that's something that you're working on, hi from Maryland. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. Hi, Stacey. You guys are in the right place. Okay. If that's something that you're working towards, now make sure you stick around, because at the end of this live, I am going to tell you how to download your free Biology Beneath ADHD guide. It's going to dive even deeper into everything that I'm talking about today. Okay, let's dive in. Most parents of kids with ADHD, they spend years chasing symptoms like meltdowns, focus issues, impulsivity, sleep problems, mood swings. Let me know in the comments if this sounds familiar. What symptoms is your child struggling with? You know, you follow the advice from all the experts. You stay consistent. You try the therapy. You try the meds, and sometimes those things help, at least for a little while. But often they stop helping, or they don't help much at all. And so you're left wondering, and this is how I felt, what am I missing? So I want to know if you guys can relate. Just give me a yes in the comments. I definitely felt this way years ago. When my son was diagnosed with ADHD, we followed the plan. We tried the meds. We stuck to the routines, but nothing created real lasting change. And that's when I started asking different questions. Okay. Things like, oh, it's live. Hello, Karen. It is live. Yes. Totally live. I started asking questions like, what if this isn't just about behavior? Or what if something deeper, something biological is driving his ADHD symptoms? And once I started digging into the biology beneath ADHD, everything changed. And if you're wondering the same thing, I did create a free guide. It's something different, not just a PDF downloadable guide. It's something completely different. It walks you through the exact biological factors most people, even most doctors overlook. And I'll tell you exactly how to grab that 100% free in just a second. So don't go anywhere. You definitely don't want to miss it. Now, most ADHD support, it focuses only on what we can see. Okay, so like the behavior or the focus or their strong emotions. But what if ADHD isn't just a brain issue? What if it's a whole body issue? Because your child's brain is only one piece of the puzzle, okay? And to really help kids with ADHD thrive, we have to look at what's going on in the gut, in their nervous system, in their immune system, in their detox pathways. And unfortunately, most traditional support, it doesn't address these systems at all. Instead, it keeps families stuck in sort of this cycle of managing symptoms without ever asking why those symptoms are happening. I like to use this analogy, and if you've been following me for long enough, you know that I like analogies. So when firefighters show up, when there's a house fire, okay, imagine a house fire. When the firefighters show up, they don't aim the hose at the smoke, do they? They aim at the fire. Why? Because if you put out the fire, the smoke goes away as well. But most ADHD support, it's stuck spraying the smoke. It never addresses the fire beneath. And that's exactly what I want you to start thinking about differently today. Your child's ADHD symptoms are biological clues. They're not just random issues or not just ADHD symptoms. Those focus issues, they're not just a lack of willpower or something that you can't help without medication. They could be tied to inflammation, gut imbalance, or blood sugar crashes. Things like picky eating, skin issues, skin rashes, sleep resistance, anxiety. These aren't just random quirks, they're biological clues. But most parents are only given tools to manage symptoms. They're never shown how to uncover what's actually going on beneath the surface. And that's why I created the Biology Beneath ADHD guide. Is for parents who are done chasing those symptoms, stop chasing the fire, and they're ready to find real answers. I'll tell you how to grab that in just 1 second. But first, guys, tell me, when you hear ADHD, what do you think of? Okay, just let me know in the comments. And I keep having to look over to my other screen to check if there is any comments. So apologies about that. When most people hear ADHD, they think a lot of those symptoms are in the brain. They think brain, don't they? But in my work, having helped over 1,600 families, I've discovered that when these 5 areas of the body are out of balance, ADHD symptoms almost always get worse. So, blood sugar dysregulation, gut brain dysfunction, food sensitivities, poor detox pathways, and nutrient deficiencies. Now, let me give you one more analogy that might click. Again, as I said, I love analogies. Imagine your child's body has sort of a built-in trash removal system. Okay, every day the system collects waste. So things like environmental toxins, inflammatory foods, stress hormones, even just general metabolic waste. Now, your body has detox organs. Think things like the liver, the lymphatic system, even the gut. They're supposed to help empty that trash overnight. But when those systems are sluggish or blocked, the trash builds up and builds up. And when that trash spills over, we see a whole host of ADHD symptoms. So I want to tell you about a family that I work with, Farah and her son, Aaron. They were doing all the things, therapy, supplements, even specialty testing. But Aaron's emotional outbursts kept the family walking on eggshells. I used to describe it when I was going through it with my son. I was like on this emotional roller coaster. Aaron, one day he was calm. The next, it was a complete meltdown. ADHD stands for a dreaded headache, dear. Oh my gosh, I've never heard of that one, Karen. But yeah, like that's what, people think head, don't they? So Farah reached out to us, and we took a completely different approach than what they've tried, because they tried so many things, as I said before. So we stopped focusing on the behavior and we started looking at his biology, and we uncovered hidden food triggers that no one had found before, things that were silently hijacking his nervous system. And over time, as we worked to address each of those underlying stressors in his body that we found, his stutter completely disappeared. His emotional regulation improved dramatically. He could finally focus at school without falling apart. And Farah told me, it finally makes sense. We're no longer treating symptoms, but the real cause. So I hope this is making sense so far. Just let me know in the comments if it is, or if you guys have got any questions. I love answering them live, or if you're watching the replay, when I post this to my feed, pop any questions on there and I will come back and answer them. Now, you're probably figuring out now that this approach, it isn't a quick fix. It's not like popping a pill. But for many families, it's the first thing that actually works long term. And I think this is because it's a science-backed root cause approach to ADHD that supports the body so the brain or the head can thrive. It takes work, but it also brings real relief. Now, I already told you about the Biology Beneath ADHD guide that I've been working on for months behind the scenes. It's the resource that I wish someone had handed me when I was deep in the chaos, when I just knew in my bones there had to be another way through this with my son. Inside, you'll learn the 5 hidden stressors that could be really driving your child's ADHD symptoms. I already mentioned them briefly in this live. But in this guide, we're going to go so much deeper. You're going to learn how to decode their behavior to determine which underlying stressor might be exacerbating your child's symptoms. And you'll also discover how you can start calming their body naturally. So, if you're ready to stop chasing symptoms and start finding real answers, so this is what you want to do next. I've made it free access, okay? It is something completely new. As I said, it's not just a downloadable PDF guide. It is this amazing flip book with built-in little videos. If you want to, if you're a visual person, if you want to flip through the book, you can totally do that. All you have to do is comment the word biology. BIOLOGY in the comments, either in this live or on the replay. As I said, I'm going to post the replay to my feed, and I will send you a link to that guide via PM. That's it. If you're watching on a platform that doesn't have the ability to comment biology or send PMs, I will also pop the link directly to that. Now, this is the guide that I wished for I had when I was trying to decode my own son's ADHD symptoms. And I just know it's going to be so helpful for you as well. Now, thank you so much for being here again. I'm Dana Kay, board certified health and nutrition practitioner. And I am the creator of the ADHD Thrive Institute and the ADHD Thrive Method for Kids. So glad that you guys showed up today live. If you're watching the replay, so glad that you're watching this as well. Remember, comment biology, BIOLOGY, and I will send you a link to that guide. Bye for now. That's it for today. Take care.